name is Rob, and hopefully this one will take. Just some commentary, and hopefully it'll be uninterrupted, but if it is, no worries. This is in response to a bunch of shit my friend Wayne had posted on his Facebook about tolerance, religion, etc., etc. And a lot of shit was written, so let's just square a few things away. Let's see. Tolerance. There was a definition that was begged for tolerance. Tolerance is acceptance. That while I don't necessarily agree that every citizen should have the right to own a gun, I'm not going to stop that. Just the same as every woman has the right to be left the fuck alone when deciding what to do with her body. So, I mean, I don't agree with war. Pretty much every war we've fought since, including the Spanish-American War, has been that for empire. And the only war that's justified is a revolutionary war. To throw off chains of oppression. That's another story. So let's move on to church and state. A lot of people say, however funny it may be, that America is a Christian nation, etc., etc. No. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Actually, in this case, I like being the bearer of bad news. Because I like destroying illusions. That's, I don't know, something I get off on, I suppose. I love getting my mind blown as well. So, let's move to the Pledge of Allegiance. The Pledge of Allegiance was written originally in the 1800s and was amended at the height of the Communist, Red Scares, Cold War, etc. To differentiate between the godless, atheists, communists, and us. It follows the paradigm of us versus them, which is really easy to fall into, you know. We've always had a great enemy that threatens our very lives and way of being. And if you love freedom, that's something you can't tolerate. At first it was monarchs, absolutism, the British, and then the Barbary pirates. And I'm not including before America was actually founded, which before that would be the Indians, all of them. So skipping back to the Barbary pirates, to the Barbary pirates, back to the British, let's see, each other, more Indians, each other again, slavery itself, the Spanish, the Mexicans, let's see, the Japanese, the Germans, the Ottoman Empire, the Germans again, Japan, Italy, fascism, communism, every kind of ism. Not that one. But all the way up to nowadays, it's Islam. You know? And then as now, there's a lot of bullshit out there. But the difference between then and now is literacy rates. Literacy is at its highest as it's ever been in our country. And problem is, a lot of people don't use that skill. Take, for instance, I took a religion class as an adult, my first religion class ever as an adult. And this dude spent the entire semester denigrating Islam and every other religion but Judaism and Christianity, which I find really, really funny because historically, Christians were the ones that killed the Jews. Yeah, that's a fact. And if you think about it, it kind of makes sense. Who killed Jesus? The Jews. So why not wax the Jesus killers? You know, because that's what Jesus would do. So, let's see. Moving on. I'm just not a fan of a religion. Hey, baby. I'm not a fan of a religion where genocide, the murder of children, things like that is part of the God's mentality. That's not my kind of guy. You know, my God is a reflection of the greatest parts of me, and my goddess is likewise. And I like kids. They're cool. I don't want to kill them. Even though there's a lot of people that are stupid, I don't think people should die en masse just because they're stupid. Though a lot of my friends would disagree. So, I mean, if you look at the Bible, the Old Testament, let's get a few things out of the way. The Old Testament is the history of the Hebrew people, as recorded by them over a span of, I want to say, 2,000 years. For 2,000 years, their history was an oral tradition. So, as we all know, things tend to get added or embellished, and that, you know, that's cool. That's humanity. But we'll take the Old Testament as is, as a history of the peoples. And in that history, written by them, there are not just 10 commandments for the Hebrew people to follow, but 700 plus. So if you're as adamant about those 10 commandments, thou shalt not kill, which is really funny to me, because Americans are warlike. We've always been at war. There hasn't been a period of 20 years in our entire fucking history where we haven't been at war. But we're a Christian nation, so that's cool. Hey, buddy. So that's cool. But touchdown, Tom Brady. Let's see. So there's 700 plus laws in the Torah, right? There are rules of slavery. There are rules of abominations. Now that's another thing. Abomination is a favorite word of a lot of the more militant motherfuckers out there. So abomination is usually thrown at the people that tended to congregate in certain sections of San Francisco. Yep, the gay population. And there's a very, very specific example cited in Leviticus 18:25, I think. You can triple check me. It's an abomination for a man to lay with a man. It's also in the eyes of Yahweh, or your God, to eat shellfish. So, if you like shrimp, you've been committing abomination after abomination. Lord, why Red Lobster exists, I have no idea. It should be picketed every goddamn day. Am I right? Yeah. I am. Biblically, I am dead balls on. Let's see, what else? Do you like pork chops and bacon and stuff like that? Yeah, you're fucked, because that's an abomination. So if you swing your fat ass by Waffle House and suck down that all-star breakfast with that crunchy ass bacon, you're an abomination. So slap yourself. And there are ways to deal with abominations. Mainly stoning. And that doesn't mean what a lot of folks like to think it means nowadays. It means killing a motherfucker. It doesn't mean smoking a jib. So I think, all told, in the name of your God, in the very first book that was written about him, the total body count conservatively was about 24 million. So let's do a Google search. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Gotta love Google. Let's see. U.S. population 24 million. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Let's see. Census population 25 million. As of April 1, 2010, Texas has a population of 25,145,561. So, in the entirety of the Old Testament, the equivalent of Texas, the entire population of Texas, that would be men, women, children, cattle, anything that breathed your God's air was slaughtered. And I'm pretty sure they didn't do it in a real nice way. You know, I'm sure they didn't kill them with love. I'm pretty sure they were fucking slaughtered. In the name of your God. So, take that, and you want to teach my kids that. But maybe you don't. Maybe you just want to teach your kids, you know. I will teach my children what I believe and what I don't believe. I will give them every bit of information so that they, as adults, can make up their own mind. That's tolerance. So, your religion is mutually exclusive to every other religion, meaning Mahatma Gandhi is now burning in hell because he didn't do exactly how you've done. Now, if that's true, fuck your God. I don't want any part of your God. And if your God does exist and that's how he is, he's a fucking asshole. Straight up. So, let's see. Moving on. Creation of the Bible. I got kind of a little cheat sheet. The creation of the Bible, as we know it, Lord, finds its origins in the Council of Nicaea with Constantine, the Roman Emperor. Hey, baby. Okay. Let's see. At the time, there was a tetrarchy, meaning there was in the East and the West. Okay, we'll reverse it for you. In the West and the East, right, there was the Eastern Roman Empire and the Western Roman Empire. The East was based out of Constantinople, and the West out of Rome. Excuse me. That's why we have Roman Catholicism, Eastern Orthodox. So, in each of those empires, there was the big emperor and a kind of vice emperor. Just in case the emperor was slain, you know, chaos wouldn't ensue. There was a chain of command that would be followed, etc. At the time, the Romans were the mob. So, mob rule and all that junk. But, in the Colosseum, where Christians were being put to death for their beliefs, and the Romans would watch this. And they were kind of used to people shitting themselves, screaming, you know, out of fear at these vicious fucking animals coming at them and eating them. The Christians did not. They stood there because they knew something was greater than this place, and that this pain that they were about to feel was temporary.